Yeah, you can say that.
Good afternoon. My name is Bella and I'm a 7th grader. I am here today to speak on behalf of my classmates and many other students just like me. This past Friday, in the middle of my algebra class, the phone rang and my teacher had to stop her lesson to attend to the person on the other side of the call. This is quite unusual because my teacher's instructional time is very precious to her. She becomes extremely agitated when non-educational related activities such as picture day, fire drills, assembly, etc. are scheduled during the very limited teaching time with us. She is under so much pressure to make sure we are prepared for all the assessments we will be asked to complete throughout the year that she cringes at the thought of anything taking our time away from learning. We waited patiently, and even though we overheard her tell the person on the other end of the call that she did not want to take the call at the time, for some reason, the call continued. I could see that my teacher was flustered by the call, even though she kept her composure at all times. I later found out through my mom that the call was from the school board. They were inquiring as to why my teacher was scheduled to speak at today's board meeting. Weren't they going to find out today anyways? Did they really have to interrupt our lesson for that? When I went home and told my parents about what had occurred in algebra class that day, they were both furious too. At first, I thought what had happened was wrong simply because it took away from my instructional time. But now I realize that I was wrong on so many levels. I asked my parents why the school board would call a teacher during class time to question her motives for speaking at a public hearing. My dad told me a story of when he was a 5-year-old little boy in the communist country of Cuba, where there was no freedom of speech. He said that the school would encourage the children to pay close attention to the conversations of the adults at their home and report back anything that was said against the government to their teachers. That is, the teachers would use the children to gather information from the parents' private conversations, which would then be used to convict their parents for supposed crimes against the government. Consequently, the participants, playing the role of their parents, would then be tried at a mock trial for their words. It is an almost unbelievable story, but he swears it is true. Fortunately, he now lives in America and he enjoys freedom of speech guaranteed to us by the U.S. Constitution. In fact, anyone choosing to speak at a public hearing, whether a student, teacher, parent, or other member of our community, has that unalienable right to speak freely without fear of punishment or harassment. So I ask you again, why did the school board interrupt my class to question my teacher about her speech today? Were they out to get information? Were they trying to intimidate her? Or were they trying to suppress her speech? It's a good thing this is not a communist country. Thank you for your time.